George Fitzgerald, Frankie's Little Miss Madser is the third book in the Ashley Brown series. Book 1 follows the life of the gorgeous Dublin woman. Ash, as she is more commonly called, is young, blonde and beautiful. Her life is made up of pillow-clutching dreams. Fantasies of meeting Mr. Right. She loves art and dreams of working in the publishing world in London. Along comes dashing Dean, but he does not come alone, he brings a suitcase of trouble. Ashley flies to London, lands the dream job, but she also falls into the hands of the evil Mr. Picador. The book has been described as beautifully written, a must-read. In the second book, The Promise Maker, we again meet Ash, but this time it is in Dublin at a funeral carrying two secrets. One is old, the other is new. She and her friends meet for drinks and a chat, and over the next 4 chapters we find out where she's been and how she survived the streets of London, drug addiction and the evil Mr. Picador. Then she hands us over to an old friend, Frankie Smith. This is where Frankie's story begins. The story of a boy born in the Lower East Side of New York in an Irish ghetto in 1930. In 1935, Frankie, his mother Nellie and the man Paddy Smith arrive in Dublin in what can only be described as the worst slums in Europe.
In this book, Fitzgerald brings us into the tenement world of what was infamous Dublin. It is here we bump into Codswallop, Mary Applejaws, Daisy May, who journalists have described as a Dublin Fagin. The highly publicized book has been called Dickensian. The reader also meets Frankie's young street friends, Harry Boy and Slasher. Most of the characters are villains. One of the worst is Buster. The priest Snobsbody knocks Codswallop out. Whacker is in the background. Frankie has a sweetheart, Jenny. She wants them to run away to England. He sees it as his only chance. Frankie believes that Paddy Smith is his father, but he also wonders if he killed his mother. The book has an epic end, and then in the follow-up we meet Rosie, Frankie's Little Miss Madser. In the third book, Frankie's Little Miss Madser, the focus turns to Rosie, Codswallop and Mary Applejaw's daughter, who was interfered with by Slasher. It is the tale of the poor boy and girl, and their friendship in a hostile world of pickpockets, murders and cunning women like Daisy May. Rosie watches Slasher with a suspicious eye, while Codswallop watches Whacker with a deadly one, and Frankie watches them all at a distance, knowing at any moment if the wrong thing was said someone could die. His great hope was it wasn't him or Rosie, Frankie's Little Miss Madser.
Sometimes when writing a story, what I do is I draft them. In the sense of not literally, in the sense of words or storytelling, draw them. Sketch them out, draw those characters. They don't have to be perfect, they just have to be the image of the person that you might think. I'm working on my own drawings here. There's hundreds of them, all over the place. This is only a few ideas of characterization and how people work, or how I work sometimes, looking for the different stories, basically more so the character. Look for the character. If I can find them, well, then I can tell the story or let them tell it. In that sense, Daisy May there, Slasher. Not so much Daisy really, but more so that Slasher fella behind, and that's Bungalow behind them. They come into the story in tenement Dublin. It's a wonderful tale, it's a wonderful gift, to be able to tell stories. It's Frankie there as an old man when he ended up on the streets. And this is the lads here. Just show you them here. What we've got here is Frankie, Bungalow, Ike the Terrible, and Slasher in the Dublin that they would have known. This is Harry Boy, Frankie's little buddy. And this is his other pal, Slasher. These are 2 different characters, 2 different people. And Slasher, if anyone has followed the story in the book, The Promise Maker, has a detrimental, well, put it this way, Harry Boy has a particular experience that's brought about through the deadly, cunning Slasher. A friend of mine actually said to me, he said, "You're probably Ireland's most prolific writer." And why is that? Why are you so aggressive when it comes to writing? There are many reasons, but for one of the reasons is simple, is that they put me in the dungeon's corner when I was a child in Ballymun. I'm not playing a fiddle here. There's a lot more stories to be told than those. You know, people have suffered a lot more than being put in a corner. But however, in saying that, the authoritative figure putting a hat on a kid's head at 5 years of age, whatever age it was, 6, was an extremely probably problematic situation. And then I was put into a bad row in primary school in Finglas, and then when we went to the tech, it was really all about not getting knocked out, or who hit who at a bar, or a knife being pulled, and there was a lot of violence and a lot of violent things. We even bought punches left, right, lefts, and all the rest of it that came with that experience. And anyone that went there will tell you that was their experience also. And he might tell you a few other things. But however, in saying that, and then when I left school at 15 years of age, when I became a plasterer, blah, blah, I've always been involved in the arts in many ways, even as a plasterer. Like, of all the trades I could have got, I was a plasterer by trade. But however, when I came into this idea of actually writing something, and I saw all the opposition, and the absolute extreme opposition, I'm not giving up. I'm not allowing that corner, that demon, whoever it was, to put me in that corner, to keep me in that corner. I'm going to keep coming. And I'm going to keep coming until eventually there's nothing left to come to. Or the day is called when this is over. I'm going to keep coming. It's as simple as that. That's why I'm a prolific writer. And also the very fact is, I love the gift that I was given. And I love that what I can do with a blank piece of paper, and how I can conjure words and bring them into stories and bring characters to life and create atmospheres and create things that not everybody can create. That's why I keep going.